All right, now the camera's just gonna be on while I hurry up the fuck. Oh yeah, getting warmed up, getting awake. All right, it's UFC 312, 312 UFC 312. So, God, I hope I'm not too loud. I'm gonna go ahead and close this window. All right, this is all pretty much useless as of now. That camera does not look like it's in the right way. Awesome. Okay. February 8th, it's going to be Sean Strickland versus Dricus Duplessis. Now, right off the bat, I want to say that Sean Strickland is just a crazy motherfucker. He's a weird personality. He is real, but he's not. I got to be honest. He is always saying that he's real, but there's a certain level of performance that he's always doing to try and get more attention and to try and just get some fucking bites out of people. You know, he wants to entice people to bite back at him, and he has overall a lot of emotional issues. With that being said, regardless, I'm not here to talk about who he is as a person. I am here to talk about if he's going to win the fight. I moved the microphone too far away from my face. But what I am here to talk about is if he's going to win his next fight, which I'm going to be honest, I kind of think he does. I think that he's been doing a lot of the right things where he's going around practicing, training with a bunch of different kinds of people. He's one of the few people that are actually going to go and fucking train with guys in his own division and try to get better, knowing that they're going to fight down the way. And I'm talking about Carlo Borralio. He's having Alex Pereira training with him a lot. He's overall still just getting constant good training from different sources. I like seeing that K1 boxing fight he did. I think this is all adding to his possibilities of taking this fight in a more impressive and decisive way if he switches things up and does apply a lot more forward pressure and a lot more hard shots that are going to actually do something to Duplessis. Apparently, he's getting a lot better at his jabs, which he's already fantastic at, but it's having a lot more stopping power. And I could fucking kind of see that, especially with the recent training footage and sparring stuff. But it's going to be more to stop fucking Duplessis. Duplessis is straight up a bulldozer of a human being. He is a rhinoceros of a fucking guy, an elephant manifest into a human being that's just going crazy and going wild, swinging everything over his head. You left it in the hands of the judges, so it's on you. You lost because of that. That sucks, but it is what it is. One loss, whatever, moving forward. Got a bunch of experience from that. He's already a hard guy to fight. So is Duplessis, but I mean, you can whoop on Duplessis and then he comes back. If you're sharp like Sean Strickland, him coming back isn't really going to do shit. It's going to just add to Sean Strickland's defensive game and probably give Sean a couple more opportunities to let some really good shots in there. Hopefully he shows more head kicks. Hopefully he shows, I don't want to say grappling exchanges, but I hope he's able to showcase how good of a grappler he really is, which we know he is already. But that's kind of all I want to say about that. I don't want to make this an overly long and analytical fucking thing. A lot of people are saying Duplessis. I think Strickland. It kind of is weird for me that everyone is choosing just Duplessis because of his bulldozery, weird, unconventional style. But I mean, it's not like you're going to get away with that forever. Unconventional styles are great if it's a specific style that's going to, I don't know. See, I say that, and he's a champion. That's the fucking big thing here, is that he is doing the style, and he already is a champion, and he's already defended his belt once against Adesanya. Pretty cool. He did something that Sean Strickland couldn't, which is actually finish Adesanya. But you would look at that fight, and Dricus getting his ass whooped for certain portions of the fight for sure. So it adds and it detracts. This is all just to say that this is going to be a very tight fight. I think it's going to be an enjoyable fight. I know most people are going to say it's boring because of the style. You look at how detailed and how strategic and how well planned and how choreographed all of it is. I'm impressed by it, regardless. Sean Strickland probably going to just take this decision. I think split, unanimous. Sean Strickland, he jabs and teeps his way to a victory. So let's just see it happen. Crazy motherfucker, weird ass motherfucker, but he can fight and he has a certain style that wins him a lot of fights and already got him a championship once. So we'll see. We're going to be moving on to the next fight, which is the women's strawweight fight, I think. Let me look at that up real quick. A little pluck. Yeah, strawweight. All right, I was right. Now, I saw Whaley fight for my first time at 300, which was fucking awesome. And I rewatched that fight again. My God, if it wasn't for Alex Pereira's fight going right after and Max Holloway's fight right before, we would have been talking about Whaley's fight for sure. He's amazing and well-rounded, and she has all of the components to make her a champion and a dominant one. And she's shown that and proven that time and time again. she's going to have a fucking hell of a fight against Tatiana Suarez. Tatiana Suarez, I did not know up until this fight. She's been gone away from the sport, injuries, cancer, just a lot of life difficulties. But besides that all, when she does fight, she is a dominant, victorious grappler, a dominant fighter. She is amazing, undefeated in this fucking in the UFC right now. I don't see that really changing this next fight. I think Tatiana Suarez has all of these skills and necessary. I got my other cat and she's just looking at me acting all funny. But either way, I'm not going to look at her because she's going to start crying at me. Either way, um, Tatiana Suarez has a beautiful, beautiful wheelhouse of grappling skills. I don't know if that sentence made sense, but it makes sense to me. Tatiana Suarez just showed in her last couple fights that how dominant she is when she grabs you, swings you to the cage, and brings you down, gets behind you, chokes you out. I don't see anyone being able to fucking stand against that. She is so dominant in her grappling. I really don't understand what Wei Lee is going to be able to do to defeat that. Tatiana Suarez is bigger, longer, I think going to be stronger for sure. And her skills in grappling is going to really sway the fight into her favor if anything happens to go to the ground. I see Tatiana Suarez edging this victory out, honestly, with a submission. Let me see what I put down exactly. Yeah, I am kind of feeling that it's going to be a rear naked choke in round 2 or 3, but it could be even one. I don't know. This is a 5-round fight. It could go to the distance. And if it does go the distance, then Wei Lee probably is going to take that kind of fight. If it goes the distance, that means that Wei Lee did something so correct that she obviously is being able to handle Tatiana Suarez. Now, if it's so much of a one-sided thing where it's just Wei Lee having to defend the whole time, that's a different story. And then Tatiana Suarez is going to win the unanimous decision in that case. I don't really see it going that far, sadly. I like Wei Lee. I really think Wei Lee's one of the more entertaining and likable fighters in the entire roster of all of the fighters. She's fucking fun and nice and sweet. Again, who gives a fuck about the personality of the fighter? We hear about the skills about the fighter and seeing them fucking hit each other. Sadly, I think this is where Wei Lee's going to meet her match. I hope I'm wrong. If I'm going to be honest with you, I really do hope I'm wrong. Because again, I like Wei Lee, so I'm expecting for her to come out and really try all that she can to stop her, but I just don't think it's going to be enough to stop Tatiana Suarez. Tatiana Suarez most likely is going to win this fight, be the new champion, and good luck to the division trying to stop her if she continues fighting with the fighting career. I'm expecting round 2 rear naked choke. I'm going to say round 2. It could go longer, round 3 maybe, but Tatiana Suarez. Yeah, that's my pick. Sad though. Next thing we have is Talison Teixeira versus Justin Tafa. Now, the Tafa brothers are well known. I don't know them very well, but all I know is that the other one, I think, fucking had some beef with a fighter during a fight that I saw, and he slapped him after he lost. He screamed. What am I here talking about his brother? We're talking about Justin Tafa, though. I don't know. I did see Talison Teixeira win his last fight by a pretty brutal knockout early on. He seems like a big monster. He seems like a big guy. This is not going to be a fight that goes on for very long. But if there's not really enough of back and forth skills and more of a waiting game between the both, this fight actually could go the distance, even though it's heavyweights. And heavyweights don't typically go to the distance, but this one could definitely do that. I say that even though Rosenstruck and Pavlovich went the distance last time. The fuck, right? I think for these next couple fights, I'm going to be blasting through them because I don't know everyone. I tried to do research. I just got ESPN Plus. I'm going to just go with Talison Teixeira. I think he's going to be able to knock out Justin Tafa with his first round. It might be a surprise for Justin. I think Justin's going to be a little bit overwhelmed as long as Teixeira comes out and really makes a fucking statement on his debut. If he makes a statement like he should, like he absolutely should be planning to, he should be able to knock out Justin Tafa first round. If he doesn't, Justin Tafa by decision. But again, I'm leaning on Teixeira. Jimmy Crute versus Rodolfo Bellato. And again, I'm not going to think hard about this one. People apparently really like Jimmy Crute. I don't know him at all. He's been off for a long time. I tried to look up some shit, but I don't know. I put down that I'm going with Rodolfo just because he's coming off of a couple KO, TKO victories. We'll see. I don't know. Again, I don't know these guys, honestly, so I'm just going to keep it straightforward. Rodolfo. Why? Because I said so. And that's all I got to say about that. Moving on to the next one. Oh, I also think Rodolfo's going to win by decision. Let me make sure it's still recorded. Jake Matthews versus Francisco Prado. Going with Prado because he's going to be extra hungry after losing to a guy like Zellhuber, who is extremely talented. Now, Jake has a series of good victories and some tough losses, but I don't think his experience this time is going to be the defining factor, rather just a bit of an edge for him. Honestly, again, another one I don't really know too much of. It's like this entire fight, like it's kind of a bunch of people that are just not the most well known. Like this entire maiden card, Jack Jennings, Gabriel Santo, or is that even in the main card? That's in the prelims, right? Yeah. Like Jake Matthews, Francisco Prado. Cool. I don't know. I just don't know these guys very well. But we're gonna find out this weekend. So I think it was Jack Jenkins. Yeah, Jack Jenkins is the one that I saw that I've seen a couple times already. Maybe not physically seeing his physically. What the fuck? I'm saying everything physically. But I didn't see his last fight live, but I have seen highlights floating around before. That's for sure. And I'm going to be going with him because he's just overall impressed me. He's got power, he's got the skills, he's got bounce, he's got fucking speed. He's a speedy, hard-hitting motherfucker who's got attitude. He's got a fucking killer mentality and I like that. So, he's going to be going against Gabriel Santos and this is going to be a nasty fight just with Jack Jenkins. Yeah, just because Jack Jenkins is going to be bringing the fight and looking to kill this fucking guy. Good luck to Gabriel Santos. I think he's going to be putting up a great fight. And this is going to be a standout fight overall. Jack Jenkins for the win there. Probably going to be over by a split decision victory because it should be a pretty close fight, I think. If not, look at me. If not, if this, if that, split decision for Jack Jenkins. That's going to be my prediction. Second prediction, backup prediction. My backup, this is going to be a KO for Jack Jenkins first round. Pretty quick. It might be in the first minute even. Just because he's going to be hungry and he's going to be fucking trying to kill the guy. I'm very excited if he does that. I like it when it's the first round knockouts. I love that kind of shit. It gets me up out of my seat and I'm just fucking stunned. I like that. I love this sport. I love watching these fights. It's so entertaining, dude. Yeah, dude. Person I'm looking at, dude. All right. Tom Nolan versus Vyacheslav Bodashev. Both guys, once again, I have not seen a whole lot of, so I don't want to go off speaking some nonsense, not knowing what the hell I'm talking about, which I do all the time anyways. Looking at the record of both, I got to say I'm a little bit more impressed by Tom Nolan's recent history of winning, but looking a little closely at Borashev, he's lost to pretty good guys like Chase Hooper, Mike Davis, who recently lost to Ziam in the Adesanya fight. Mike Davis is that guy, by the way. I missed that fight, but I heard it was a fantastic fight. So him losing to a guy who was part of a fantastic fight and only barely lost by a split decision, I think so. I'm going to be going with Tom to find the KO in the second round. I don't want to be banking on decisions. I think there are going to be a good amount of decisions. I think this is Australia, though, and these guys are hungry fighters who want to scrap. These scraps are going to be producing some violence, and I cannot wait to see that. Tom Nolan's going to be one of those guys bringing that fucking fight. Again, it's going to be close. It might be a decision fight, but I'm just going to go with Tom Nolan taking that second round TKO. I'm going to go with TKO on this one. He'll do that. He'll do TKO. Now, this is a fight that I was very happily surprised to see. Wang Kong versus Bruna Basil. Wang Kong, she is a great watch, but she did sadly lose her last fight by getting socked in the face and then choked out on the ground. A pure MMA victory against a impressive kickboxer. A very skillful kickboxer, but a kickboxer who didn't implement enough MMA to take this fight, to take their last fight, and honestly disappointed a lot of her fans that she built up. She does a lot of weird shit where she dresses up no, not a lot of weird shit. Her main weird shit is that she just paints herself like the Joker and comes to the fights. I'm gonna be honest though. I like that. It's fun. It's just weird. Like when that guy painted himself as the Hulk, he lost his fight. And, apparently painting yourself as a character from a comic book is not going to be in your favor, as the history shows. But I do think Wang Kong is going to be bringing a very, very aggressive attitude. She needs to get herself back in public, to get the public support again. Fuck the public support, by the way. Who needs that shit? Fuck that fucking shit. Fuck the public. Get them against your side, if anything. And Wang Kong become the villain. Really come out there and try to shut everyone up, make everyone disappointed that they don't get to see you lose. Now, with that being said, though, I think Bruno Brasil is going to win that fight. Bruno Brasil is, from what I was very happy to see. What is this cat doing? Bruno Brasil is impressive. She is fighting with the Fighting Nerds, and she won her last fight against Molly McCann in a pretty fucking dominant fashion. I think if Bruna Brasil can just implement any of her grappling against Wang Kong, she's going to have a fucking easy night. If Bruna just wants to have fun with Wang and do the striking, that's one thing. That's a mistake, in my opinion, that many people make with Alex Pereira, because why would you strike with a kickboxing champion, someone who goes up there and their entire fucking sport for most of their life has been striking? Why would you go striking against that person when you're an MMA fighter? Don't do that. Just fight a little bit. If you want to be on the feet with Wang Kong, good luck. You're going to get knocked out in the first or second round if you don't fucking. You're really not going to have a good chance. You're just not going to have a good chance if you're striking with her. Fighting nerds is one thing. The training's one thing. Awesome. Good. I bet she has amazing talent. But this is a very high level kickboxer coming from different divisions who beat Valentina Shevchenko. I'm just saying you don't want to stand with someone like that. Brune, her last fighter, Gabriella, did a great job. She caught her, but she was getting pieced up a bit in that fight. So unless you're going to be able to get that beautiful counter strike, which I don't think you're going to be able to get because Wayne Kong's going to be looking out for that more than ever, you got to just focus on the takedowns, going to her back, and just choking her fucking ass out. I'm going to be going with Bruna taking this in the first or second round by submission. I think, honestly, we could be looking at an armbar situation where you just have to disable her fucking striking power and completely dismantle her like an operating table. If Bruno's able to do that, it's going to be a very entertaining fight, and she's probably going to get performance of the night with that kind of show. With that kind of fucking, what do you call that? With that finishing move, with that final strike, with that final hacha, with that final watwa. I don't know. But that's what I'm gonna say. Watwa, watwa, she's gonna get that shit. For sure. Maybe, probably. For sure. Ooh boy. Now, I'm gonna make this very simple and very to the point. Alexandre Topuria versus Colby Thickness. Colby Thickness is being supported by his master, Alexander Volkanovski, who got knocked out by the younger brother of Alexandre Topuria. So I don't really see this going in Colby Thickness's way. No, but in all seriousness, it is great that Alexander Volkanovski is supporting his training partner. He's been really building this kid up for a long time, apparently, and it's very, very unlucky that his debut fight is against Alexandre, who is, I mean, you just look at Topuria, that's all you got to see. Sadly, Thickness is probably going to get his ass knocked out in the first round. I feel like Alexandre is just going to be looking for the TKO in the first round. TKO or knockout first round, Alexandre Topuria is going to be taking that one. Cody Steele versus Rongzu. Now, from what I saw from Rongzu and Cody Steele, I was impressed by Cody Steele. I did put here when I was doing all of my research in a fucking frenzy the other night that Cody Steele's going to get this by first round KO. And if not, that he's going to have a lot of different ways to take it and just do what he wants. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. I have a lot of notes. How many pages is this? It's too many pages. Regardless, it adds to my confidence then that Cody Steele's going to win this fight. So, Cody Steele, apparently, I thought first round knockout. So let's just go with that. Kevin Doucette versus Jonathan McAuliffe. Now, Doucette is the French dude that Brian Battle could not believe people thought he would lose to in a fist fight. I think Doucette is overall very sharp. He has a good amount of experience. He got outstriked pretty bad by Battle. But in my opinion, when something like that happens, the fighter learns. If they're a good fighter and they're active, they learn, they adapt, and they apply. I think Doucette's going to be doing that. He's going to be taking what he learned from the Brian Battle fight, and he's going to be coming at McAuliffe very hard. If McAuliffe is very talented as he ought to be by winning the Dana White Contender Series, and well, he earned this place by a great submission, triangle from the back is what I remember he did. So if he's able to really pull out a submission by allowing Doucette to come at him aggressively, he could pull out another submission win, or maybe he has better standing game than I thought. But in this last fight that I saw in the Dana White Contender Series, it was cool, but it seemed like he was just really green. So I think McAuliffe will lose this fight. It's not going to be the end of his fucking world, obviously. It's his first fucking loss in the fight in the entire organization. But either way, going with Doucette, Kevin Doucette is going to be taking this by. I really am. I'm really bold with my predictions. I put here that I'm going to think that Doucette wins by KO or TKO in the second or third round. I'm not. I'm going to be honest though. I do think that. I do think that Doucette is going to be just coming out. I mean, in the first fucking couple fights, I'm used to at least there being one or two KOs or something like that, or one or two TKOs, and I think this is going to be one of those. Doucette's probably going to just knock him out in the second round. You know, just figure it out, find his pace, find the rhythm, execute, do it. Hopefully we see that. Quillan Salkid versus Anshul Jubli. Anshul Jubli is the I think the first Indian fighter in the UFC, and he was on a tear until he lost his last fight to a guy who barked at him. I got to be honest. If a guy started barking at me, I don't know what I'd do. I mean, I've never been in a fight, so I don't know what I'd do anyways. But that was a weird situation. He was winning that fight within the first 2 rounds, and then the second round it turned just because of his opponent having that dog in him, literally. And he brought it out and just fucking unleashed it against Anshul. Overall, Anshul just got hustled. I think that shows a big weakness, though. I mean, you can't get out psyched in this kind of game, you know? Like, if you get out psyched again, it's over. You're getting knocked out again. I don't see, like, once you show that is a possibility, others are going to use that to their advantage and figure out more ways to fucking play a game with your brain and try to get in your fucking system before you're able to figure out what the hell's going on. Quillan has the physical advantages and the skills needed to allow him the overall edge. So I think Quillian's going to be taking this fight by unanimous decision. Quillian just needs to play the long game and manage his distance. He is longer and bigger than Anshul. So keep him at bay, wait it out, take a little bit of a boring victory here, and just take your fucking victory in your pocket and walk out. Who gives a fuck? Take it, be a little boring. This is probably going to be one of the more slowish fights. Watch me be dead wrong, though. I'd love that if I was dead wrong about that. But I think this is going to be a little bit of a slower fight. Distance, measured. Let's just go Quillen. Yeah. Unanimous decision. I really don't think that fight's going to end in like a KO or anything. Maybe, though, and Shul's going to come back and really want to have some get some blood after fucking his last fight. Show everyone that he is a dog instead of being fucking frightened by one. But that is about all the fights. I try to make it fast. I try to make it quick. I try to make it snappy without losing too much quality. Overall, I'm gonna be trying to just fucking. I'm gonna try to pan this out a lot better and fucking have more time. But it is hard because everything is within a time crunch. It's already 9 o'clock, and I have to fucking edit this now and upload this before I have to go to sleep at 12 because I have work tomorrow. Either way, that's all I got for you. These are my final hour predictions. Final hour predictions with me, Jaime Ruiz. That's all I got to say. I don't know. So, yeah, thank you for watching. That's all I got to say about that. Yay. Oh, you okay? You can't be reaching over like that. I'm just gonna let you go. Sorry, boy. You're okay.